Good morning, everyone. Hope we're having an awesome start to our day. Today, we're going to take a little bit of time to learn about dominant and recessive traits. Dominant and recessive traits are not the same as codominant traits, and we'll see that kind of in an example today. So, we'll be able to describe how dominant and recessive traits are inherited. Uh, to do this, we must log into our Explorer Learning accounts and open our inheritance gizmo, same as yesterday. I'm already logged in, so you're set, but if you click on that link up here, you'll see an option where you need to log in. Please enter your username and password. If you need them, email me, private message me, I'll send them your way. And then we'll watch the Edpuzzle video that's linked into the bottom picture. I haven't put it in yet, but it will be available after I make the video. And then we'll complete some highlighted sections on the slides. So we're going to set up an experiment where we have a straight antenned alien and a curly antenned alien, green and blue, and we'll breed them 5 times. So what we're looking for is what type of antenna do the offspring have? All right, so I'm going to launch my gizmo, and we said we needed a straight antennaed alien and a curly antennaed alien. So we have our straight and we have our curly, and I suppose I made it blue. So I need to reproduce these aliens, or make them reproduce 5 times. The term is breeding. When you breed something, you're making it reproduce and have offspring. What type of antenna will the offspring have? Well, let's find out. And I'm going to breed them 5 times. 1. Take a look at that antenna. Seems to be straight. 2. Looks like another straight antennaed alien. Looks like another straight antennaed alien. Another straight antennaed alien. And let's reproduce one more. Okay, so we made our aliens reproduce 5 times. What type of antenna do the offspring have? Well, it looks like all the offspring have straight antenna. Weird. Okay, so they all have straight antenna. Fine. I wonder why that is. So sometimes when 2 traits are combined, so you get 1 gene from your parent, 1 gene from the other parent, so you have 2 genes, 1 from each parent. One trait is dominant while the other is recessive. If both organisms, if an organism has both a dominant and recessive trait, the dominant trait is visible. So which trait for antenna seems to be dominant? Which trait do we see in the offspring? Is it straight or is it curly? Seems to be straight. Okay. And which type of antenna is recessive? Which trait do we not see in the offspring? Well, seems to be curly. Okay. And so you can have curly antenned aliens, you can have straight antenned aliens, but you're not going to have that codominance, kind of like what we saw yesterday. You won't have wavy antenned aliens, kind of like how humans can have wavy hair. This trait is purely dominant and recessive. And you can see the difference. I have a green alien and a blue alien. The codominant trait is skin color because the alien is blue and green, but the antenna shape is not a codominant trait. It is a dominant and recessive trait. So we can see the difference there. Now we're going to set up another experiment. We're going to make 2 offspring from parents where one has straight antenna and one has curly antenna, and we'll place them in the parent position. So notice I made them both green now. That's just because I want to focus on the antennas. I don't want to have to worry about the colors at all. So I'm going to remove everything. Actually, I can keep that green one. but I'm going to get rid of those aliens, and I'm going to get rid of these ones that we just did. Bye-bye. And so now I'm going to create an alien that is green with curly antenna. So now, oh, my mistake, green and curly antenna. So I need to make 2 offspring from these parents. So I need to take 1 and 2, and I need to keep them. I actually have to get rid of the parents now. They have done their purpose. They have served their purpose. They are no longer required in our experiment. So I take the 2 offspring and I set them there. Each of their parents, one was straight antenna, one was curly antenna. I have their offspring now, and I place them in the parent position. So let's make a prediction. If we breed these offspring aliens 10 to 20 times, do you think all of the offspring will have straight antenna? Why or why not? Type your prediction here now. After you make your prediction, you will then breed the aliens 10 to 20 times. That means you'll go back into your gizmo and you'll click on the reproduce button to make 20 aliens. Okay? And so we'll breed the parent offspring 10 to 20 times. Make sure that you are observing the shape of each of the offspring. And then we'll record our results in the table below. And so we'll type the numbers in here. I'll do a couple just as an example. So I'm clicking reproduce once. Looks like the alien has straight antenna. So that would be 1 for straight so far. Ah, there it is. Where'd you go? 1. Okay. Now let's hit reproduce again. This one had curly. Uh-oh. Interesting. Why did that one have curly, I wonder? Sorry, 1 for curly. And then you continue for at least 10 to 20 times total. Okay? Conduct the rest of your experiment now. So on the next slide, I went from this slide to the next slide. What happened in your experiment? What types of antenna did the offspring have? Well, when I conducted my experiment, I did it 20 times. I just wanted to get more results. You may have only done 10, and that's okay. I saw that 14 of the aliens, of the offspring aliens in the nest, would actually, here, I'm just going to copy that real quick, put that in there because you should see it. In the nest, I saw that 14 of them had straight, but 6 had curly. So what happened in my experiment? Well, I saw that most of the alien offspring had straight antenna. Some had curly antenna. Not all, but some. Which antenna was more common in the offspring, straight or curly? Why? Well, what I noticed, well, I'll let you answer that one. We could probably argue that it is straight, but why? Why was it straight? Go back to the earlier slides and think about what our lesson is about, dominant and recessive traits. Why was the straight antenna more common? Take time to answer that now. And then the last question, the recessive traits from the parents did not disappear. How did we prove that statement true? Okay. So remember, dominant and recessive traits, which antenna shape is dominant, which antenna shape is is recessive, and then kind of take that into consideration for question 3. The recessive traits didn't disappear. How do you know that's true? So the recessive traits in both of these parents didn't disappear. How do you know? Type your answer in here now. So today you learned a little bit about how dominant and recessive traits are inherited. You learn that dominant traits are always visible when present in the offspring. Recessive traits get hidden by the dominant traits because the curly gene got hidden by the straight antenna. Recessive traits do not disappear. They can still be passed on. And you know that's true because when you bred two straight antennaed alien, some of their children actually had curly antenna. Even though you couldn't see that, their offspring, some of them got curly antenna. You showed that the gene did not disappear that way. This link here, I saw this link and found this link and I wanted to share it with you. This link has more examples of dominant and recessive traits specifically for human beings. They show the widow's peak, the bent pinky, crossing of thumbs, kind of like what we did last week. Earlobe attachment, same as last week. Rolling of the tongue, cleft chin, dimples, handedness. And so, like, all of these things that we asked last week are actually some of the dominant and recessive traits. And then there's a list of more dominant traits and recessive traits in human beings as well. So I just wanted to share that link with you to help you learn a little bit more about your traits, being dominant and recessive as they are. Once you've taken the time to answer the questions in the sections on each slide, make sure you turn this into Google Classroom. Again, any questions, private message me, email me. Tomorrow we're going to take this a step further and learn a little something about adaptations. Have yourself a fantastic day.